Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard, Black in the Philippines with the truth. I want to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, my future subscribers, all my commenters, haters, triggers, lovers, scallywags, each and every one of you. I want to welcome you to my channel. Well, today's the day that we're heading to Benoy, I think it's called. Benoy is somewhere like that. We're going to a brother's wedding. His name is Mac. I spoke about him on my past two videos, and we are in Bihaya. This is a Bihaya. If you can see, a Bihaya is actually a van. Reminds you like in Queens or in Jamaica, where you just hop on a van and it takes you where you want to go. But I constantly remind me that you have to be grateful for the small miracles that happen in your life. Whoa, the suitcases are falling. Of course, I'm riding with the luggage. Where else does a black man ride with the luggage? When we left, we're about time. And when I stopped at the bank, the first bank didn't have any money, and the second bank, fortunately it did. But then now, I didn't calculate for that first stop. So now, we have to find a parking spaces. We are parked by a church because it was told to us before when we went out of town for a day that parking next to the church is the best place to least likely to get towed away. And so it's become a regular place for us to stash the car whenever we're going out of town. And to make sure that we have easy access home once we get back in the spaghetti. Now, talking about the small mirror. So anyway, we are, we grabbed the tricycle because we're going to take a tricycle to the bus. And so, of course, time is everything. We got to be there like about an hour and a half. And that's about anyway, it's a little after 11. It starts at 1. So the trip's supposed to take an hour and a half. You figure it out. So anyway, when we got the tricycle, and when we got off the tricycle, guess what? The bus was right there. This Bihaya, they're called Bihayas. This Bihaya was right there getting ready to pull out. So I told Mia, I said, Mia, so you have to recognize when God is working in our lives. Don't wait for the big miracles or big things like that to happen. Appreciate the small ones, because it's the small ones that happen so frequently that we don't take time to give thanks or acknowledge or say thank you, Lord. It's funny. I was talking to my brother-in-law, who was over. I spent the day with us, and he's a pastor, or he's an elder in the church. I don't know exactly what his position is. Him and his wife have Sunday school classes and all that stuff. And I had to tell him that lately I've been feeling compelled, to read the Bible again. I feel compelled to be, to be conscious of my soul. I know I'm struggling with smoking, and I know how much, I try and quit. But maybe I need a little more help that's greater than me. And so maybe I need to pray on it. Maybe every morning now I need to hit the floor and pray, what I'm saying, and ask for, the strength not to light up another cigarette. Especially with my child coming, I don't want to be smoking right there. I stopped smoking around Mia, but sometimes it gets weak. I get weak, and I end up smoking around the room. And sometimes when I go into the house, I can smell the smoke, and I'm not very pleased at the fact that I'm still smoking around her. But I try to go outside a lot of times, but anyway, that's one of the things I want to drop down on my knees and pray and ask God for help for, is to give me strength to help me stop smoking. Now, I want to tell you a story while we're riding. We're in Dumagetti, you've seen it 100 times, my going out or whatever. But I used to have this artist who I was working with. I started working with her when she was about maybe 16 or somewhere around that with her father. In fact, we did a project with Epmd, which is Eric Sermon and Paris Smith. They were the first hip hop artists to make $1 million. So from Long Island. So I worked with them with a guy who was his name was Blind Bob. He was a blind musician, and that's when I met this young lady and her father. So her father had a radio show, and he was intrigued about the things that I did, so he asked me to come on to his radio show. So I came on his radio show, and then I started supporting her. In fact, whenever I find an artist that has talent, I try to find a venue where I can showcase their talent. And that's what I started doing with her. I started finding venues, restaurants, and all that stuff. And she was fully self-contained. I mean, she had her synthesizers, she had her speakers, she had her microphone, and she was like a one-man band, man. She's awesome. She usually sings songs from like the 30s and 40s. A lot of the old classic songs she would sing. A very talented girl, But I would tell you who she is. I even post a picture of her. But the story I want to tell you, it might be too much revealing about her and her family. But anyway, so I ended up photographing her for her CD cover. So one of the pictures, and I always appreciate when parents, trust me enough to be around their children. Although I'm never around them without their parents usually being present. But in this situation, I was, because I had the photographer. So anyway, to make a long story short, she had a manager who was helping her also, find gigs and support her and help her carry equipment and all that stuff. And when she turned 18, it turned out that she married him. And the father was, it was like a knife to the heart, because now all the images were flooded into his mind about all the time that he entrusted his little angel to him, that he was actually grooming her, or we can go as far as saying molesting her, they ended up getting married. And as much as he hated him, I saw him and I saw the pain and anguish that was in him that this happened, but then, it was either accept the fact that she's 18 now and get married, or lose her altogether, because, it's obvious that she made the choice of who she wanted to be with, or who she was going to be with, her husband, of course. And ultimately, he had to swallow whatever feeling in him. Her mother and father were also very talented singers, so they had to swallow, whatever feelings that they were feeling toward that relationship and what happened, and accept them for the choices that she made in him. So anyway, sometimes, it's you have to be careful of who you have around you. How does one person say? He says, be careful of your circle. Be careful of your circle, because they might hurt you. Something like that. Hassan the camera would say it, anything like that. But anyway, that was a story I wanted to tell you. But anyway, so we're heading out. We're heading out to this. We're heading out to this place. Mia, where are we going again? Bendoy. I'm sure if you asked me 5 minutes from now, I couldn't tell you Bendoy, but now it's Bendoy where we're heading out to. Hopefully you can kind of see a little bit of side street, what's happening over here. It's a nice, warm, hot day, which is very nice. But then, I guess at some point in time in a person's life, and I listened to Gino Jenkins or something like that. He's a pastor, and I like his preaching style. So I've been gravitating, listening to him, and he makes a lot of sense. Well, they all make a lot of sense. That's why I always said I can take something from, a Ku Klux Klan rally. I can take something from, from any mode of NAA or any organization or any gathering where there's a speaker. I'm sure there is something that they're going to say something that I will agree with, or something that that kind of moves me. And that was the same way with this pastor, so I'm really, the point of the matter is that I'm starting to think more about my soul, for those who, feel that we have one or don't have one or whatever. But, I never consider myself as religious. I consider myself as spiritual, because I've been a Jehovah's Witness, I've been a Muslim, I've been a Protestant, I've been a Baptist. I've been a number of religions, but, I come to find out that, I'm spiritual, and that is that I believe that there's a power greater than myself, in this world, and I believe that if you believe in living your life in a good, orderly direction, if you believe in treating your brother, like you want to be treated, then you know what? You are my brother, because that's what religion means to me. As being spiritual in the sense that, you have to live your life accordingly. Okay, 12 minutes. You have to live your life, so anyway, it's like they once said that when you go to a grave and you see a headstone, you see two numbers on it. You say born in 1954, like me, and died in and died in whatever year it was, because I don't want. Okay, I can say in 2005 because it already passed. I don't want to hit one up in the future because I don't want to hit this video. Look, he called it. But those two numbers aren't as important as the dash between those two dates, because that dash tells you or tells how you live your life. Hey, I watch some pastors. Hey, he was talking about preaching at a funeral at some of these gangbangers, and say one of the hardest things to do is for a minister to preach into a young man's life and try to talk about how much of a little angel he was, and how much positive he's done, and the things that he was striving for when he was killed and committing an horrendous crime, so or what have you. So it's just very hard to preach at some of the young people's funerals today, because often the time, you're not going to tell the truth of how they live. One more thing I want to say, and this is bad. This is really bad on my part. Whenever they have those trials, and someone is taken to trial, and someone is being charged with murder, and the family is making a witness statement, and someone says, hey, you took him away from us. You took my daughter's, husband away from me like this. You're no good. I want one of them to jump up and say, if your son would have paid me my motherfucking money and did what he was supposed to do, he wouldn't be laying in that coffin now. Let me stop. This is Gerard back in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans of winning action. Never disrespect the other. You always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali was formerly singing the Temptation myself, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king and never say no. I'll always love you more. I'll talk to you later.